Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock markets, the way the trade has panned out, where were the gains and losses seen, and what really happened to your investments in the stock markets today. So let's start off with the closing action first. We had a very volatile session through the day today. We opened mildly higher through the day. We saw massive losses coming in for the Sensex and the Nifty. Towards the end, recovery from those days' lows, but the markets ended in the red for the fourth consecutive session today. So let's look at the closing action first. Of course, the Sensex dropped to a low of 53,519, dragged by aggressive selling in the IT, FMCG, and select index heavyweights like Reliance Industries, Tata Steel, and NT in today's trading session. Also, when you talk about the BSE 20 share index, that recovered partially, led by gains in the banking shares, eventually ended with a loss of 276 points at 54,088. So that 54,000 mark was definitely protected towards the end of the session. However, in case you want to see the last 4 days of declines that we are talking about, the Sensex has declined a total of over 1,614 points in the last four trading sessions alone. The Nifty also dipped below the 16,000 mark today briefly in the intraday deals, but however recovered and ended with minor loss of 73 odd points at 16,167. Remember 16,000, the psychological level being broken on the downside towards the closing of the session would have meant further sell off and in a more aggressive way, perhaps. Now, look at the kind of stocks that have moved the markets today. On Sensex, we saw NTPC. L&T, Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance declining around 2% each. Power Grid, Maruti, Infosys, and ITC were the other prominent losers in today's trading session. On the other hand, you had Axis Bank that gained over 2%, IndusInd Bank, HDFC, and Kotak Mahindra Bank were the other notable gainers. So the financial stocks were stemming the kind of loss that we had seen in the other indexes, including the kind of move that we saw on power index, especially. In today's trading session, IT and FMCG counters too. The broader markets also came off the day's low, but eventually ended with notable losses. The mid cap index was down by 0.3%. The small cap index also dragged by almost 2% in today's trading session. The overall breadth was extremely negative towards the end of the session, with more than three declining stocks for every advancing share on the Bombay Stock Exchange, too. Now, as we progress, of course, the markets are waiting for some macro data across the globe. Global cues are also on a jittery wicket as the US is slated to release its April inflation numbers later today. That will be an important data point for globally the markets to consider. And then tomorrow, again, we will get the domestic inflation numbers in the evening as well. So, macro data will be very important to track over the next 2 or 3 odd trading sessions, too. Of course, we had a whole lot of move in the primary market space as well. Right after the mega LIC IPO being shut down, we have three more IPOs that have opened. The first one was the Prudent Corporate Advisory Services that opened yesterday. It's the day two for that one. Delivery and Venus Pipes IPO opened in today's trading session. Let's talk about the latest ones first. Delivery IPO that opened today was subscribed 20% at the end of day one, till 3:30 p.m. Also, delivery IPO consists of a fresh issue of 4,000 crore rupees and an OFS of 1235 crore rupees. The price band of 462 to 487 rupees per share. So that's the kind of move that you saw on delivery IPO. Venus Pipes and Tubes that also opened for subscription today received a very strong response from retail investors. The issue was subscribed over two times right in the first half of trading session as well. Demand in the retail segment coming in at 3.4 times the allocated quota too, and the overall issue has also got very strong subscriptions in today's trading session just on day one itself. Meanwhile, Prudent Corporate Advisory Services was subscribed up to 52% at 3:30 p.m. on day two of the offer period. The retail quota was almost fully subscribed too. So these are the three. Primary market action points that all of you need to remember too in today's trading session. Of course, towards the end of the session, we also noted that over 2,500 stocks declined, whereas 800 stocks advanced in today's trading session. Small caps underperformed the mid caps by a huge margin. India VIX climbed 2%, so volatility index definitely indicating some more move on the volatile side going forward from here too. Shree Cement, Bajaj Finserv, L&T were the top Nifty 50 laggards today, so heavyweights are coming down on pressure, whereas ONGC, Axis Bank, and IndusInd Bank were the top leaders in today's trading session too. Cipla HDFC also provided some 1.5% gains in today's trading session. realty sector was the best sectoral performer in an otherwise weak market today. It jumped, most of the stocks in the realty space. If you see including DLF, Godrej Properties, Shobha, Lodha, Oberoi Realty, even Phoenix, all of them jumped higher in trade today. There was a almost 3% uptick, almost a 0.7% uptick for the Nifty Realty Index in today's trading session too. The IT index was the worst performer, with of course the rupee advancing as well, again recovering from those all-time lows that we saw just 2 days back, and ending the day around at 77.2. Now when you see the IT stocks, apart from Wipro, all the other IT listed stocks declined in trade, including Coforge, TCS, Emphasis, HCL Technologies, Tech Mahindra, Mindtree, Infosys, L&T, Infotech as well. All of them dragging the street. L&T Technology Services dragging by almost 4% odd too. Sectors definitely swung between the gains and losses in today's trading session. So all in all, it was a very, very volatile trading session. The breather being that the 16,000 mark was not breached on the closing level, even though it was breached on an intraday level today. Of course, we'll have to keep an eye out on the way primary markets move from here on, and the macro data points, and all of those will be determining the action for the markets going forward from here. With that, I wrap up, but we'll keep getting you all the updates from the world of secondary and primary markets and everything that's passing on D Street. So do stay tuned onto Business Today TV.